I lost my first 100 pounds in just a little over a year. And since then, I've gained back all but about 50 of it. And that's really hard for me to say out loud. So today I want to give you an honest update about where I am, what's been helping me right now, and what's still really hard. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. There are so very many of you. I'm so glad you're here, but I do want to update you on how I got here in the first place because there's a lot to my story. This definitely isn't a perfect before and after kind of story. It's more of a where we are now, what happened, and what are we doing next kind of a story. When I started this journey back in October of 2021, I thought the hardest part was going to be losing the weight. And once I hit that 100-pound milestone, I thought it would just get easier after that because I knew what I needed to do. And honestly, some things were easier after the life lessons that I had in that first year. But maintaining progress while life changes, your mental health changes, your routines disappear, and your medication journey changes, well, that's been a completely different kind of challenge. So I thought the best way to talk about this would be to literally walk through the timeline together. Because I've been doing this for years, and sometimes I forget that new people are only seeing the current chapter. And there were a lot of chapters before this one. I actually started my weight journey in October of 2021, and at that point I started taking Wegovy using the original manufacturer coupon, and I got 6 fills for free. That was a huge help for me because at the time my insurance did not cover the medication, and it was even more expensive than it is now. We're talking $1,600. Contrary to popular belief, Wegovy did not lose the weight for me. I had to change a lot of habits. I had to learn how to eat differently. I had to figure out movement and routines and what worked for my body at 365 pounds. But Wegovy was a tool that helped me to get started. When the coupon ran out after those 6 fills, I tried an oral compound, and that did not work for me, like at all. It was really, really frustrating because I had already experienced what it was like for the food noise to go away and for my appetite to be controlled for the first time in my life. And suddenly I didn't have that support anymore. Then Mounjaro was approved and I got the original manufacturer's coupon on that, which gave me 12 fills for free. I know a lot of people have asked me about which one I liked better, Wegovy or Mounjaro, and I do have a video on my channel specifically going into that, so definitely check out the video where I talk a lot more about that experience in detail. But the short version is that for me, Mounjaro did not work as well as Wegovy did. In fact, I had a lot of side effects. I struggled with anxiety, depression, and very, very little weight loss. So when the Mounjaro coupon ran out, I went back to semaglutide, first in an injectable compound, and then when I got my new job and my insurance covered it, I went back to Wegovy. During that first major stretch, I lost 100 pounds in just a little over a year. And that was incredible. It changed so much of my life. It changed my health, my blood work. It changed the way I moved through the world, the way I saw myself. It changed what I thought was possible for me. Since then, my weight loss and my use of GLP-1 medications have been very up and down. Over the next couple years, I struggled with gaining and losing the same 30 pounds. There were seasons where I was taking the medication and seasons where I wasn't. And earlier this year, when my mental health took a nosedive and I started taking medication for anxiety, I stopped taking Wegovy altogether. It's been a really complicated season for me. During that time, pretty much all of my routines disappeared. I was doing good just to hit 5,000 steps a day. In fact, most days I didn't even get half of that. And then there was the move, being in California, everything that's been happening with my family. And the move has been a huge blessing, but I've just been trying to function emotionally. During this season, my priority has been survival. And when survival has to come before progress, progress is often lost. I want to make it clear that while the medication is an important part of my story, it's not all that there is to my story, because I'm not necessarily trying to recreate exactly what worked in October of 2021. My body just doesn't respond to the medications the way that it did then, and I'm in a completely different place, emotionally and geographically. I'm basically left trying to figure out what's going to support my life as it is now. And these are the things that have been helping me. One of the biggest things that's still working for me is seeing my dietitian through Nourish. I have now been seeing her for almost 2 years. And I know, at least for me, talking to a dietitian in the beginning was very intimidating, especially if you feel like you're going to be judged for the way you eat or weight regain or lack of weight loss. But my experience with my dietitian has been the complete opposite. It's been really helpful to have someone look at the whole picture with me, to have an external voice giving me that grace instead of having to just find it within myself, because I'm not very good at that when it comes to me. She's not just a "what did you eat this week?" or "how many calories are you eating?" type of person. And a good dietitian isn't. She asks me questions about what's happening with my mental health, what other health issues I'm dealing with. What are my routines like? How much energy do I have? What's realistic for my life right now? Because I can make a perfect meal plan on paper, but if it requires me to cook 3 meals a day, exercise for 2 hours, and have unlimited energy, it's not gonna be sustainable at all. And honestly, having someone take the emotion out of every meal has been extremely helpful. I've said this before, but 94% of Nourish's patients pay nothing to see a dietitian. It's going to vary from person to person, but that's why I suggest just clicking on the link down in my description. Nourish will check your coverage for you. And in my case, they actually went to bat for me to get it covered. That link is an affiliate link, so I may make a commission if you choose to use it. But even if you don't use my link, please, please, please get in touch with Nourish if you are not already seeing a dietitian. I'm not sharing it to get money. I'm sharing it because it's something that's genuinely been extremely helpful in my journey, and I wish I had had her support from the beginning. The second thing that's continued to help me is meal prep. When I'm not prepared, I'm much more likely to wait until I'm overly hungry and not necessarily making the best choices for myself. It usually means making a decision on whatever feels the fastest to me. And don't get me wrong, sometimes the fastest option is fine, but a lot of the times it means ordering something that doesn't make me feel very good afterwards. So having a few meals or even a few ingredients ready to go has really made a big difference. Not perfect meals, not 7 identical containers lined up in my refrigerator that I'm gonna resent by Wednesday, but just a few things that make it easier to feed myself. I shared a meal prep video a couple of weeks ago, so if you missed it, I will link it down in the description and up here if you wanna see some of the things that I've been making. One thing I am trying to do differently is not seeing meal prep as an all or nothing project. If I prepare 1 protein and a couple of easy sides, that counts. If I only prep breakfast, that counts. If all I do is wash and cut up produce so that I'm more likely to eat it, that counts. It doesn't have to look like one of those beautiful meal prep videos where every container is lined up beautifully. Although if I do happen to do that, I will most definitely brag about it. I'm also continuing to focus on protein and fiber. Not because I'm trying to do some extreme plan, but because fiber and protein help to keep me full for longer. So when I'm planning my meals, I build them around a protein source and think about where I can add some fiber somewhere. It absolutely doesn't have to be complicated. I'm not trying to turn every meal into a math equation because I have enough issues in my life right now without having to do algebra with a sandwich. In short, the goal is not to be perfect. It's to try and make the next meal easier. Now we need to talk about the part that's still really hard. Gaining back all but about 50 pounds of my original weight loss has been really painful. I feel like I failed. Even though I know intellectually that weight loss is not a straight line, emotionally, it sucks. I can understand all of the reasons that it happened. The medication changes, my mental health, the loss of routines, the move, eating differently, having more opportunities to eat out. But even though I understand the reasons behind why it happened, I still feel sad about the results. I think sometimes people expect you to either be completely proud of everything you've accomplished or completely sad about where you are right now. But at this point, I'm kind of both. I'm proud that I was able to lose 130-ish pounds. I'm also proud that in spite of everything that's happened this year, I've still been able to keep about 50 pounds of it off. And I'm also grieving the weight regain. All of those feelings can exist at the same time. One of the hardest parts for me is that I know what it feels like to be successful. I know what it feels like to have a solid routine. I know what it feels like to see progress that feels obvious. And now I'm in a place where progress is slower, much less exciting, and way harder to see. And that can mess with your head. But I'm trying to remind myself that rebuilding is still progress. It just doesn't always look as impressive from the outside. The other thing that is still hard is regulating my food when I eat out. And there are a lot more opportunities for that now. Not only are we in California where restaurants are everywhere, but I have more opportunity for eating out because I'm around people now. I'm not by myself. There are new places to try. There are family meals. There's lots of days where I'm out longer than expected. And eating out is part of life. I absolutely refuse to avoid it. And I don't want to treat restaurant food like I'm doing something wrong or cheating. But I also know that I can completely lose my sense of structure when every meal is eaten away from home. So I'm working on slowing down before I order, sharing food with my sister a lot of the times. Not necessarily trying to choose the lowest calorie item on the menu every single time, but just asking myself what I really want, what will satisfy me, and most importantly, whether I'm ordering because I'm actually hungry or because I'm overwhelmed and there's a menu in front of me. That is still a work in progress. A very much still work in progress. As far as California goes, life is a little bit of everything. There are exciting things happening. There are hard things happening. I'm absolutely loving all of the time that I'm getting to spend with my sister and my mom. I'm still figuring out what routines look like here, and I'm still adjusting. I had my first visit with my new doctor this week, and we discussed me going back on Wegovy and several other health concerns that both me and my dietitian have had, including my very low ferritin levels. And that low ferritin could contribute to a lot of the symptoms that I've been having. So more to come on that later. And then I have some very exciting news. Richard got a job. He just started last week, and that has been a huge relief for us. Unfortunately, it wasn't in the field that he hoped to get into, but it's the best possible outcome for the field that he's in. There's still plenty for us to figure out, but having that piece in place feels really good for both of us. And honestly, after everything that's happened, I'm just trying to celebrate the good things as they come. Once we have a better idea of what our income looks like, the plan is to start searching for an RV. My sister has a large piece of property here in California with enough room on the back of it to park an RV where we would have our own space with minimal living costs, which is what made it so affordable for us to be here instead of in Texas. I know it's a completely different topic than weight loss, but it's connected to the bigger picture of my life, which you guys are a part of. I'm trying to build a life that supports me, a life where I can have routines, but also some flexibility, and a life where I can take care of myself without waiting until everything is perfect, because that's never gonna happen. And hopefully an RV that will work for all of us, including Helios, who will probably believe that the RV is exclusively his. So that's the next big thing. We're gonna be searching, comparing, probably getting overwhelmed by the number of options, and hopefully finding something that allows us to bring him home very soon. When I look at this timeline, I can see why I felt so overwhelmed. There was the weight loss, the mental health changes, our land lawsuit, my mental health issues earlier this year, the move, and now the process of trying to build a new normal. That's a lot. But I'm also starting to understand that I'm not back at the beginning. I may be rebuilding, but I'm not starting back from zero. I know more now than I knew in 2021. I know what helps me. I know what makes things harder. I have resources that I didn't have then, like my dietitian. And I know that that support matters, and healing is definitely not linear. As I've said before, sometimes survival has to come before progress, and sometimes progress is just making a meal, going to an appointment, ordering something intentionally, or just getting through the day without giving up on yourself. All of that counts too. If you're in a season of rebuilding, I would love to hear what that looks like for you. Feel free to drop it down in the comments. No pressure though. I just would really love to be there for you guys the way you have been for me. And I wanted to share this update with you because I know a lot of you are starting over too. And maybe rebuilding alongside y'all is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.